Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. And man, I gotta say, it's just different. It's different doing a live show versus pre-recorded. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've had to pre-record and upload a video. Now, thank you to everybody that joined us yesterday for yesterday's live. Oh, it is a new coffee cup. Look at Miss Mom. She's paying attention. I'll talk about that in just one moment. But I still have the Bald Brad Show mug. It's just dirty. Like, it's really dirty. I rarely clean that thing. You know, we'll get into that later, okay? But we do have Dark MAGA tonight. That's not a bad option to talk about during Dark MAGA. But if you were unaware, based on how yesterday's show was, that's how we used to do all our shows, was I would pre-record it the night before, late night, and then we would just upload it, and then I would be on my way to work. But now for the last, 2 years, we do this live, baby, before I go to work at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's freaking cool, man. But I missed you guys. I'll say it doesn't hit the same. It doesn't. It's not. Look, I love doing this, but I like hanging out with you. I miss you. So it's been a lot of days, but it's good to see all of you. Yes, this is a mug. This is from a mom and pop shop that I told you, look, I put my money where my mouth is. There's a mom and pop shop that does those flea market things down there at Huntington Beach. You know where James Klug does a lot of his interviews? I told you, I try to go down the beach every now and then. And so we like to peruse those little places. $10 for this. Can you believe it? Dude, this thing is built like a brick house. I mean, I can mess somebody up. I can use it brass knuckles. But anyways, yes, there's coffee in here. My Bald Brad Show mug is really dirty. But we were down there. We got my wife one 2 weeks ago. And this one I saw, I'm cheap, so I didn't buy it. But we got my wife a mug because we really love supporting small businesses. And it's just a guy and his wife, man. He had a little, American flag, it's MAGA country down there. And so we went back 2 weeks later last weekend, and he even remembered us. And so I got a $10 mug. Can you believe it? Handmade. She made this. Look at this thing. And I love how, Anyways, yes. So I love that. I'm kind of tired of these corporations. I mean, I got nothing against corporations, but I just miss you going and talking to people. You know what I mean? And just supporting them. And it's going directly to them, but it's good to see all of you. God bless you. It's good to see all of you. And thanks for your understanding about yesterday. I missed. Did you guys miss me too? Not a single person. You're sick. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, well, what did we miss here? Well, Trump signs an executive order. He's actually signed a couple of these bad boys, and we're going to break a couple of them down for you today. But he signs an executive order to crack down on crime. Here we go. I love this dude. And you know what's nice? It almost seems, now I could be my own little bubble here. It almost seems that him cracking down on crime, both sides kind of like it. Other than the psychos. Thanks, Angel. I appreciate it. I missed you too. It's good to see you, Pat. It is. It's good to see you. Again, sometimes you get caught in your own milieu, your own social bubble, and you're not really quite sure if it's just that's what people are telling you. But honestly, it seems like both sides, Democrats and Republicans, are just kind of fed up with all of this crime. And so he's just solving it. Well, emboldened by the dramatic drop in crime in Washington, D.C., I think they've gone 10 or 11 days without a homicide, by the way. I'm going to say that again. I think they've gone 10, 11 days without a homicide. That's nuts. That's great. President Trump signed a series of executive orders on Monday aimed at cracking down on soft on crime policies nationwide. Yes, baby. Isn't it nice to have the sheriff back? Oh, baby, can we get Trump in an old school sheriff? Can he walk around? He would look really dopey, but can we get him with a sheriff's badge on his chest? Look at this. You think Nancy can wear this badge? I don't think so. Come on, Chuck, kiss the badge. Instead of the rings, now they're kissing the badge. Well, the first executive order targets cashless bail. Thank you. I sound like Batman right there, didn't I? Where's Rachel? This is a problem in California, by the way. They pulled this stunt in California. Bring law back, baby. A policy that allows suspects to be released from custody without posting bail while they await a trial. They pull this crap in California, just want to let you know. I'm so tired of it. The order begins by eliminating the policy in D.C. and threatens to withhold federal funding from any other jurisdiction that keeps the policy in place. Somebody kills somebody, they go, don't worry about it. No cash, come back in a couple months. You never see that person again. Now, I think you never know nowadays. Here's the problem. This could be exaggerated where obviously if you delete somebody, you don't just get to be let go. But here's the problem. I'm not exactly sure anymore. Where's Q? Q is our legal correspondent here, and she's in the chat. Q, let us know. We might have to research this during the show. I mean, your help would be greatly appreciated. Things are so backwards nowadays where I have no idea if that's true or not. Way back when, I'd be like, oh yeah, there's no way. That's crazy. But now, who knows? It could be legit. Q, I almost said White House correspondent, our legal correspondent. Can you confirm that for us? Thank you. We always go to we go to the professionals here. I'm not a professional in law. A second order directs, you guys are gonna like this one. A second order directs Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth to establish specialized National Guard units in each state. This is a good one. I mean, we're starting off with a banger. Look at this. Specifically trained and equipped to quell civil disturbances. Great. Can we get that in Chicago, LA, just New York City? Those three areas are a shoe-in, right? An obvious one. While the Supreme Court has ruled that flag burning is protected speech, the order directs the Attorney General to vigorously prosecute. So we're going to break that down in just one moment because he did sign another executive order that we did a TikTok video on, and people seem, and this one again, it's a bubble. People seem to be for this executive order about desecration of the American flag, which we're going to break down in another article in just one moment. So big wins. I'm not for, truthfully, I don't like when presidents just start signing executive orders here and there. I've always thought that it's an overreach of the executive branch. And I'll be honest, Trump signed a lot of executive orders. I just don't like that, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can say I don't like it, but he's going to do it anyways. So I think there's some that are necessary, like this. I'm tired of the crime. I am really, really getting tired of the crime. And I think there's something to be said. You let me know. I know it's not constitutional treason. And this is kind of echoed by Andrew Wilson of the Crucible. He kind of stated this last night on Tim Pool, and I really like the way that he phrased it, that it wasn't constitutional treason. But isn't there a treason that's being committed on behalf of these Democrats in these cities that they're not willing to actually do their job and protect their constituents? I mean, isn't that treason? That you would rather take care of the criminals than you would the actual law-abiding citizens and protecting law-abiding citizens, but you'd rather protect the criminals. I mean, it's completely upside down. I've never understood it. I never will. I really, because you know what? My head's out of my head is actually breathing clean air, and it's out of my you-know-what. Well, alleged MS-13 member detained faces deportation to Uganda. Here we go. We get some updates, folks. We talked about this the other day. Uganda. Kilmore, it's a beautiful place. I mean, really. Trump talks about Gaza being beachfront property. Uganda could be an amazing, just a fabulous institution. Really. I mean, the things you could do there, the farmland you could create. This guy's getting hooked up, is what I'm saying. He's going on a vacation, basically. Well, obviously, I'm being satirical. Everybody calm down. Not the Patriots, the Democrats, of course, because they can't take a joke. Well, Kilmore Abrego Garcia, an illegal alien, an alleged MS-13 gang member, just that alone. Can we just pause there for one moment here? Just pause right here. That's grounds for deportation. You're here illegally. You do this crap I've always said this. You do this in any other country. What happens? You do this in any other country. Go do it in China. Down in Orange County, California, there's a big Chinese population. Why? Because they got the moolah. They got the Chinese cash, man. And I'm as serious as a heart attack. There's a lot of Chinese down in Orange County. You go talk to them, any of them, and you say, if you were to pull this stunt in China, what would probably happen? Every single one I've asked legitimately starts laughing, and they can't even, I'm being as serious as I possibly can. I'm not even being satirical. They can't even fathom this taking place. Put it that way. They start laughing, and when people start stuttering, because it happens to me, They can't process that this would even take place. So once they stop laughing and then they kind of figured it out and blah, 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 they say, well, one, it would never happen. And two, you would be deported immediately or you would disappear. Yeah. Now, do I want that to happen to somebody? I said this last time. No. But I'm so tired of people, we have to, be like, the generous nation and all these other things. No, we don't. No, I'm kind of tired of just giving everybody our money and climbing over our backs and, taking advantage of us. It's cool for a little while, but after doing it for my entire life, I'm kind of fed up with it. I think we got enough problems here to worry about. We don't need to worry about other people's problems anymore. Let's fix our own crap first, and then we can fix other people's problems again. Well, our legal correspondent is back. Q says, Brad, if you mean, can you commit murder? I gotta be careful because, you can't even say murder anymore on YouTube. Freaking commies. Can you have cashless bail? Then yes. What? Then yes, it is so watered down, but states, jurisdictions, and local judges have too much power. So there you go. From our legal correspondent, you can commit murder and just be let go with no cash bail. Wow. That's incredible. Well, you know what? Then I shouldn't be surprised that this guy was let go on the screen. I shouldn't be surprised. So for those that are unaware, this guy was locked up and a judge, an Obama era judge, appointed judge, released him. And my point was, isn't he a threat to the community if he's, and I'm going to say alleged for legal purposes, he's an alleged illegal alien. He's an alleged MS-13 gang member. He's an alleged human smuggler of not just adults, but also minors. He's also allegedly beat the crap out of his family. I mean, you would, for most of us, that's like multiple lifetimes of bad decisions and a threat to the community. But, if you're letting out murderers with no cash bail, then it makes complete sense now. Hand to God, it does. Because on the show, I think it was Friday, I was like, how does this happen? Or yesterday's show, I was like, how does this even take place? Well, Abrego Garcia was taken into custody at an ICE office in Baltimore on Monday after turning down a deal that would have allowed him to plead guilty to human smuggling and be deported to Costa Rica. So he wants Uganda. Look, it's no different than when Biden let these people come into the country, right? And they have the clipboard in their own language, and they give them the clipboard. They say, okay, where do you want to go? You got New York City, Los Angeles, Portland, DC, anywhere really. And they pick, well, look, they said, look, you want Costa Rica, bud, or you want Uganda? You pick. So now he faces potential deportation to Uganda, which is probably going to happen. One of several African countries that have agreed to take nonviolent illegal aliens from the U.S. Maybe he could spread the Christian faith there. There you go. Because I was told this guy's a Maryland man. I told he's a Christian. He's a martyr for the illegals, and that he could spread Christianity. Well, there you go. You can do it in Uganda. That's a great place. Look, they need saving. Might as well do so. Hey, I told this guy's holier than thou. He's better than the rest of us. He's a great guy. I'm not beating him up. I'm being told. I'm sharing what I've been told. The guy's a good guy. Okay. This is the epitome of what it means to be an American. That's what I've been told. Take it for what it is. My job here on the show is not to give you always my opinion. It's merely to relay what people are saying out there in the ether and give you the news and then allow you to come up with your own opinion. See, a lot of people get confused that, Brad's giving his opinion when he's being a smartass. No, that is what people tell me, and I just regurgitate it for all of you. It just mostly comes from the progressive left side of the aisle that regurgitate all this crap to me on social media, but there it is. I eat their regurgitated throw up, and I throw it up for you to eat up. There you go. By the way, we have one of the top morning shows in Rumble. I'm just going to say it. Okay, we do. Yeah, I'm not going to apologize for it. We have one of the top 10 morning shows on Rumble. Should we start? It would be nice if Rumble put us on the editor list every once in a while, because I'll tell you what, there's no other show like it. Whatever. The case has been assigned to Judge Paulina. Not even gonna bother. Oh, there we go. What are the odds that this judge gets it twice? Look at this. All right, for those on audio, listen up. The case on Abrego Garcia has been assigned to this Judge Paula, an Obama appointee who has previously sided with Abrego Garcia. What are the odds that this dude gets the case again? There's no other now. Maybe this is how it works. Okay, maybe this is how it works. Like, hey, you're familiar with the guy, you're familiar with the case. Let's go ahead and give it to you. Bada bing, bada boom. Makes things more efficient. I get that, but there's really no other judge out there, really. I just find that really weird. Well, check this out. The detention comes as Trump administration celebrates a major victory in its war on cartels. On Monday, just yesterday, Mexican cartel kingpin El Mayo. Sorry. A top official in the cartel pleaded guilty to drug trafficking and is expected to be sentenced to life in prison. So there's a bunch of lives saved now, which is great. Alrighty. Well, Cracker Barrel is back. Here's an update on that one. Oh boy, the backlash. Look, okay. Is it really that big? I think people are making this a bigger deal than what it is. To be fair, that is my opinion. I think people are making this a bigger deal than what it is. But it's also content, and it's really fun to watch because they did a really poor job. That's the problem. The new logo looks stupid. It looks bad, and the old logos always looked great. And you're like, I'm always for like a revamp. You know what I mean? I get it. You want to do something a little bit different. You just went the really wrong direction on the revamp. So, Cracker Barrel has issued an apology. God. They're freaking apologizing. For what? For what? After a major rebranding effort. Yeah, but you didn't really do anything wrong, to be fair. You just did a really bad job of it. Which critics blasted as an attempt to distance the chain from its traditional Southern roots. Now, there is some truth to that, but I think people are just pissed because they removed the guy off the image. You know what I mean? By the way, I didn't get any inkling of like wokeness out of it. Now, I haven't watched a ton on this, but I didn't really get them. Like, they didn't say anything about like, oh, we're getting rid of the old white men because white men, destroyed this country. You know how the left always pushes that woke crap. But the interior, it doesn't, we saw a video of it. The interior doesn't look that great. It looks bland and not very inviting. You know what I mean? It looks like I always told you this. It looks like one of those, like gift shops. I think that's actually the best way of putting it. Let's see if we can pull up some footage of this really quick. You guys know when you're traveling around the country, you know what I mean? And you're kind of out in like some small town and there's like a mom and pop like gift shop. And you go in and, there's keychains there with your names on it and all that other stuff. So let's see if we get a video. Yeah, okay. So this is what it looks like. I mean, they don't have anything in the wall. I mean, it's just plain. I mean, okay, they do have stuff on the wall. So let's see what else they got. Here's another one. What's that about? I mean, there's just... I mean, it's really, really bad. So if you go up, that's what it used to look like. This is what we all know, right? And you're yelling at your kids. The kid's like, Mommy, I want mashed potatoes and finger sticks, right? Because they don't know how to say like chicken strips or anything. It's finger sticks. And then, you're putting a little bop-a-dee-bop-a-doo inside the little placement thing, that little golf tee thing. You have no idea how the hell to play. You know what I mean? You're, shut up, kid. Bam. And you're hitting your kids. And then you got the other family doing the same thing. I mean, that's what made it great, right? That's what made it great is you really get the psychos out there and everybody's family's discombobulated and you're just ready for some chicken and some nice grits. Well, at least you get to look at the atmosphere to bring you down a little bit. You know what I mean? Instead of pulling a Abrego Garcia beating the crap out of your family, you have this to look at and you're fine. You know what I mean? You're fine. It just brings you down. You're like, I'm somewhere else. I'm on vacation. Look at this babe up here on the wall. Well, now they turned it into this. You think there's gonna be more family beatings now? You think there's going to be more Abrego Garcias in here? Absolutely. It's a Wendy's. Who said it? Drag. This is why our community's the best. We're on the same page always. It looks like a Denny's. It's a white man's Denny's. Drag. Yes. Yes. It also looks like a gift shop, by the way. Just want to point that out. It looks like a gift shop. When you walk in, you're like, oh, let's get it. Jesus. If you are on audio, this is one of the few times that I ask you, please look at your phone or your monitor or walk into the other room and look at your TV. I am laughing so hard, I'm literally not even laughing right now. God. This is some dark MAGA stuff. This isn't even a Bald Brad show. This is dark MAGA. Oh my God. Okay, so if you're on audio, there's... By the way, why does Greta Thunberg look like Vladimir Putin? Can we talk about that for a moment? Okay, hold on a second. There's a lot happening here. Everybody settle down. Your host needs to get its faculties together. My synopsis, my content mind is firing up. I feel like I'm euphoric. Okay. There's Cracker Barrel next to Sydney Sweeney. Right below it is the new Cracker Barrel sign with Greta Thunberg. Is this not the best thing you guys seen in a while? Yo. We haven't even got through any comment, but yo. That's okay. Hold on a second. Everybody get out your phones. I'll save you the time. Hold on one second. Let me get away. You take a screenshot of this or whatever. Just there you go. Take the pictures all you want. Send it to your friends. Oh, they deserve this. Your friends and family deserve this. Take the photo with your phone, get it up to the screen, and send it everywhere. Oh my God. This is when you start having faith in the human race again. Is people come up with stuff like this. Incredible. Just absolutely incredible. So, remember that? Jeez, oh God. All right, well, anyways, we gotta go back to this. Where is it at? All right, so they apologized. Back to the news. So, look at this. Attempted to distance its chain from its traditional southern roots. Sparked a massive customer backlash, and the company lost nearly $100 million in market value. Oh my God. So last week, the restaurant chain unveiled a new modern logo, which we just saw. They lost $100 million, which is just restated again. The backlash is seen as part of a larger culture war debate. Critics have pointed to the company's recent embrace of Pride Month, its removal of Duck Dynasty merchandise. People love Duck Dynasty, man. They ain't gonna be happy about that. We love Duck Dynasty. And the revelation that its former head of management training served on an advisory council of the there you go, there's the woke stuff, LGBTQ activist group, the Human Rights Campaign, as evidence of the company's kowtowing to left-wing activists. Now, I'm not so sure. You know, you can, it's like me here, right? I do a conservative podcast, but it's not my career. Like, I should be able to have a life outside as long as I'm not injecting that into my workplace. I think it's completely acceptable for somebody to have a second life, you know? So brand consultant Andrew Beck told Morning Wire that the company's new communication strategy is attempting to reach a customer that looks more like the people. That doesn't help things. Oh my God. That we recruited to do this change, that it does the actual customers than it does the actual customers of Cracker Barrel. Wow. That's just, it's unbelievable, man. I don't get it. I don't get it. But by the way, these are people, this is what, I think there's truth to this, because how many times have we seen people in executive positions make stupid decisions, and everybody's like, why would you even do that? I mean, no, okay, fine. Most famously, Disney. Disney has been known for a decade now to have executives that make stupid decisions, and everybody's looking around. Everybody is going like, why would you do that? It's dumb. It's dumb. Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, all of them done stupid decisions. Why? Because these people, they didn't do well in high school. Their grades are BS. And so they got into college and their grades are still BS, meaning they actually didn't learn anything. And you hired this person because they got a 4.0 in a college at a university that they never actually achieved on. And so when they get to your company, you think, wow, this person's is bright and intelligent. And then they give you the stupid idea and they cost your company, I don't know, $100 million. And then you pull a Bud Light maneuver. There goes that. Bud Light still has not recovered, by the way. And then you got, all this other stuff, bada bing, bada boom. And well, it's a trickle down effect. But, they'll never learn. That's fine. Maybe they should watch the Bald Brad show. Maybe if they watched the show, they would get it every once in a while. But, that's what happens. You only lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink it, right, folks? You can only lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. You've heard that phrase, and it is absolutely true. Well, if that kind of fancies your interest, so hopefully will this. If you haven't checked this out already, make sure that you do, folks. We have here, and we've talked about it in the past, they are a banger of an outlet. The countdown is over, the rivalries are real, and the road to the championship begins on August 23rd, baby. So 3 days ago, Westwood One Sports brings you every electrifying moment of NCAA football, baby. Jam-packed! From the first snap to the final whistle, top teams, big plays, unforgettable Saturdays. Don't miss a second of the action. Listen to NCAA football on rumble.com, the Westwood One Sports app, on westwoodonesports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports. If it's sports, it's on Westwood One. And I'm telling you, these people, they know how to stream the content, baby. They know how to bring you that electrifying moment from the NCAA football, which, look, a lot of us need a little bit of rest, a little bit of self-care, and it's Westwood One that's going to bring it for you. So make sure you check them out. At least use the QR code on your screen right now. That's Westwood One Sports. Get the app, download it, baby. Bada bing, bada boom, and get your NCAA football. And it's also through rumble.com. Appreciate them for the sponsorship. Thank you so much. Well, in other news here, Trump signs an executive order urging 1-year jail sentence for flag burning. Now, this is where we go to the chat. What do you guys think about this? Just off the title alone, are you all for this? Are you against it? How do you feel about it? Because it is technically free speech. Now, I'm not a proponent of it, meaning I don't like flag burning. It builds up. There's like this anger inside me that's always like reserved. It's really hard to piss me off, by the way. It's like really, really hard. There's like this anger that's reserved. It's bottled up. And when I see somebody burning the flag, it like the jar, it doesn't twist off. It doesn't even snap off. It like pops off. And it just angers me so much. It's frustrating. Well, the president signed an executive order on Monday seeking to investigate and prosecute people who burn the American flag if it's, quote, listen carefully, if it's likely to incite imminent lawless action such as a riot. Now, it's very vague because what's a lawless action? Well, it's anything that goes against the law, basically. So if you do something and let's say you're out there rioting, well, then you could be arrested for that. Now, it's very vague, so I don't know how they're going to handle this. And by the way, it also goes against the Constitution, so there's that. So to maximize extent permitted by the Constitution, the Attorney General shall vigorously prosecute those who violate our laws in ways that involve desecrating the American flag and may pursue litigation to clarify the scope of the First Amendment exceptions in this area. So let's check this out.
When you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy. In a way, both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning, and then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice.
Hey, is the audio okay? Let me know in the chat if the audio is good. I had a couple bars kind of ping off on my end, so I just want to see if everything's fine. Let me know.
To prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail, no early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Yeah, incitement is.
Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important. because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on, and by people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know, they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working, because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up, trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe, and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented, and it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country. We were not going to survive. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So it's an honor to be involved. And this group.
He's right. And by the way, I think Miss Mom said it right in the chat. If burning a pride flag is now a hate crime and get 10 years in prison, then burning the American flag should be the same. Now, I don't know if that's true that you get 10 years in prison, but I'll take your word for it for now. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I do think that burning the pride flag, right? Oh, it's hate crime. Oh, you hate gay people. It's like, I don't hate gay people at all. I actually don't really care. I mean, it's not my life. If you want to be gay, be gay. I mean, it's not that you want to be gay. Some people say, I just was born that way. Whatever. It's not my life. I got a lot of friends that are gay. I live in California. I grew up with a lot of gay people. I don't care. I just want to be left alone. I don't want to see you making out in the same way I don't want to see a guy and a girl making out in front of me outside. I just don't want to see it. I just don't want it shoved down my throat. By the way, a lot of gays feel the same way. So Trump is right here in terms of that. And by the way, there was this clip of this was circling yesterday where Hillary Clinton was outraged about the same thing. In 20 years ago, she says, I hope we could pass a law to criminalize flag burning desecration.
So I hope, Mr. President, that we can pass a law that criminalizes flag burning and desecration. I agree that this burning, this desecration that can happen to our flag is something that people have a right to ask this body to try to prohibit and prevent.
So again, sorry about the audio, but it's clearly an old clip. I mean, they dug this thing out of the dumpster, man. They kind of like they did with Joe Biden, right? All righty, we're having fun here. We're having a good time. I'm telling you, live shows just hit different, man. They really, really do. Live shows hit way different than a pre-record. Let me tell you. Well, let's get to some other news here. Let's get to some other updates. Matter of fact, let's see if there's any breaking news really quick, because I feel like there's something brewing. All righty, let's see. Judge orders Utah. So here we go with the district redistricting. Utah judge strikes down Republican congressional maps in gerrymandering case. So here we go. Uh-oh. We have right here a judge ordered the Utah legislature on Monday to redraw its congressional maps in time for next year's midterm elections, finding the state legislature unlawfully gerrymandered its districts in favor of Republicans. Interesting. Yeah, the audio was jacked up. It wasn't me. It was Fox. You could blame Fox. Yeah. Well, it's weird because we looked at the stats the other day that was posted on X. And it seems like a lot of these states are really in favor of Democrats. Let me tell you, we were looking at states that almost 50, multiple, by the way, that were anywhere between like 35 and 48% Republican. A lot of states, there's 10 of them. Zero Republicans. Zero Republicans representing those 30 to 48% of people. It's crazy. Let me see if I can find that for you again. Let me see if I can get that image up. Because right here, look at that. Massachusetts has 36% Republican, 0 seats. Connecticut, 42% Republican, 0 seats. I mean, it goes all the way down. New Hampshire, 48% Republican, 0 seats. Rhode Island, 42% Republican, 0 seats. Vermont, 32%, 0 seats. Hawaii, 38. Delaware, 42, 0 seats. So where's the judges on this one? What's going on here? Almost half your state is Republican and you get 0, nothing? Oh, okay, got it. It's just bad when Republicans do it. I get it. Yeah, understood. Okay. Just bad. So Judge Gibson said in a 76-page order that the legislature must pass a remedial congressional map by the end of September. State lawmakers have already signaled they plan to appeal, meaning the case is likely headed to the Utah Supreme Court and possibly the United States Supreme Court. Gibson's order comes after a fight between two of the country's largest states, Texas and California, thrust gerrymandering into the national spotlight. Gerrymandering is the practice of changing the boundaries of a congressional district in a state to benefit one political party, which critics say dilutes votes. The lawsuit in Utah arose from redistricting changes that began in 2018. Utah voters passed Proposition 4, also known as Better Boundaries Initiative, that year to reform the redistricting process and create an independent commission to oversee it. Now, it sounds very similar to kind of what California did, where California has a commission as well. But the difference between California doing what they're doing now versus, say, Texas is, well, California is not allowed to redistrict or gerrymander until 2030. It's against the state's constitution. So again, when we're told, well, Republicans, conservatives, they're going to throw away the Constitution, it's meaningless to them. Oh, they're just a bunch of lawbreakers. They don't really care about democracy. They're a threat to the country, a threat to the republic, a threat to democracy. It's funny because now they all want to look the blind eye to what Gavin Newsom's doing. Oh, it's fine. No, it's okay. He's bringing it up to a vote, you guys. It's fine now. It all makes sense now. As long as you bring it up to a vote. Gotcha. A vote where illegal aliens get the vote. A bunch of randos. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, the new map split Salt Lake City 4 ways, which voting right groups, including the League of Women Voters of Utah and the Mormon Women, the Mormon Women of Ethical Government, allegedly illegally broke up the state's only blue-leaning urban region in violation of the standards set forth by Proposition 4. So there you have it. We'll try to keep you updated on what's going on. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more news regarding gerrymandering happening, but well, anywho. They're always fighting. Let's go to some other breaking news here. We have Donald Trump firing. This, I guess, happened technically yesterday, but Donald Trump fires federal governor Lisa Cook amid fraud allegations and turmoil. Now, she said she ain't leaving. She pulled a Wolf of Wall Street, Leonardo DiCaprio, saying she ain't leaving. So President Trump fired Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook on Monday, citing allegations of mortgage fraud, marking the first time a sitting president has removed a Fed governor. Cook, appointed by Joe Biden in 2022 as the first black woman on the board. Now, does that mean that she was hired strictly for being black? No, but knowing how Joe Biden worked and how Karine Jean-Pierre got her job and how Kamala Harris got her job and other people in the White House got their job, she was probably hired because of DEI. She's a DEI hire, most likely. I could be wrong, and I'm willing to be wrong, but she's most likely a DEI hire. Which is kind of sad, right? When you kind of look at certain races now, you almost wonder, like, was this person a DEI hire? Did you actually get in here for merit? Or are you just here because you have a certain skin tone? Which is sad. It's a sad thought to have, but how could you not with affirmative action, all the woke stuff that's happening, the DEI initiative, ESG scores, all this stuff is enveloped in our society now. And I look, you wouldn't be wrong to have that thinking, which is messed up because you would want somebody to be there based on merit. Because again, all of us don't care about skin color. I can care two bleeps what race you are. I want to make sure your head's on straight. That's what I want to make sure. Well, they have vowed not to resign, meaning she has vowed not to resign, arguing Trump lacks legal authority, potentially leading to Supreme Court battles. The move has sparked market unrest and partisan debates over Fed independence and presidential power. So she pulled the I'm not leaving. So there's an update for all of you, which is interesting. By the way, shout out to everybody over on Twitter. We got 61 people watching. We got almost 70 people watching on YouTube. We got almost 40 people watching. We got a few hundred people watching on all platforms. We're also live on Kick and everywhere else. Well, in other news here, let's see what else we got. We got the Cracker Barrel logo thing still popping off. Man, that's so hilarious to me. I don't know why I find that so funny, but people are pissed. They love their Cracker Barrel, man. They love their crackers. And no, I'm talking about literal crackers, okay? I'm not talking about white people. Everybody calm down. Everybody calm down. Well, let's see here. let's see what we have. I want to find something good for all of you that maybe we haven't talked about. Trump was, oh, here we go. This one. Trump wants to meet North Korea's Kim this year, he tells South Korea. So a lot of countries are calling him the president, the peacemaker is what they're calling him, the peacemaker president. Well, the United States President Donald Trump said Monday he wanted to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this year and that he was open to further trade talks with South Korea, even as he lobbied new criticisms at the visiting Asian ally. Well, you could lobby criticisms about somebody but still want to work with them. You might like have problems or issues with them, but you still want to help their country out. I don't like putting this guy on the world stage, but you put Putin on the world stage as well. It's different. He's a superpower. North Korea isn't. But this guy, I think there was like rumors that this guy used a tank to blow his uncle's head off. I mean, he's not a good guy. His whole country's starving. Now, there is some truth to, well, isn't it worth still trying to make amends between South Korea and North Korea? Absolutely. Is there some 4D chess that could happen of pulling South Korea away from China's stronghold? Absolutely. So I get that there's some leverage here. I just don't think anything's going to come of it. I think it's a waste of time, but it's always worth a try, I suppose. Quote, I'd like to meet him this year, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office. There should be a clip here. If not, I'll see if I can pull one up for you. He welcomed South Korea's new president to the White House. I look forward to meeting with Kim Jong-un in the appropriate future. Let me see if I can pull up that clip between Donald Trump and South Korea. South Korea peacemaker president. Let me see if I can get that up for you guys really quick here. Here we go.
메이커로서의 역할이 정말로 눈에 띄는 것 같습니다.
And one thing that I wanted to say to you is that America's role, not as a keeper of peace, but a maker of peace, is being more is emerging more evidently.
유럽, 아시아, 아프리카, 중동 여러 곳에서의 전쟁들이 이제는 트럼프 대통령님의 역할로 휴전하고 평화가 찾아오고 있습니다.
Many wars in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, and in the Middle East are coming to peace because of the role that you are playing.
세계 지도자 중에 전 세계의 이런 평화 문제에 대통령님처럼 이렇게 관심 가지고 실제로 성과를 낸 경우는 처음으로 보이십니다.
So among the many world leaders, I believe that you are the only leader who has made such accomplishments.
그리고 가급적이면 전 세계에서 유일하게 분단 국가로 남아 있는 한반도에도 평화를 좀 만들어 주셔서 김정은과도 만나시고 북한에 트럼프 월드도 하나 지어서 거기서 저도 골프도 칠 수 있게 해주시고 그래서 전 세계가 인정하는 정말 세계사적인 평화의 메이커로서의 역할을 꼭 해주시기를 기대합니다.
And I would like to mention that the only remaining divided nation in the world is the Korean Peninsula, and I would like to ask for your role in establishing peace on the Korean Peninsula. So I look forward to your meeting with Chairman Kim Jong-un and construction of a Trump Tower in North Korea and playing golf at that place.
Wow.
아마 기다리고 있을 것 같습니다. 네, 기다리고 있을 것 같습니다.
So I believe he will be waiting for you.
There you go. So building a Trump Tower. So, it's hospitality. It's being cutesy, right? But people will pop up. What's going on, Robin? It's good to see you. And, but I like, you're kind of seeing a certain rhetoric from a lot of these countries where they're looking at him a little bit differently. Like, this guy wants to establish peace. He just wants harmony amongst countries. He wants to negotiate. He wants to bring everybody back on the world stage and kind of resettle everything. And for some reason, people freak out over that. Who's those people? It's the progressive left. Donald Trump can't do anything right according to the left. Like we've always said, right? All of us have said this in the chat before, one time or another. Donald Trump could cure cancer, and they will find some way to make it bad. They'll find some way to say, oh, what an evil scumbag. He's doing this for his own greed. He just wants to make money out of this. Blah, 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 blah. It's ridiculous. Well, there's this clip here. And we always like highlighting CNN, but this clip comes from Charlie Kirk. And he says that CNN's Tiffany Cross called Stephen Miller a white supremacist last night in live television. Why? Because he's helped architect a crackdown on DC crime. This is a common theme that I've seen for some reason. It's a weird one, by the way, is that when you crack down on crime, what I've noticed is from the left is that they keep always contributing it directly to black people, as if black people are the only ones that commit crime. I'm not saying that. That's what they're portraying, which is an insane thing to do because white people commit crime, black people, Asia people, everybody commits crime amongst all races. But it's odd because what they're upset about is that it disproportionately affects black people. And whenever there's a disproportion in the data, guess what it automatically leads to? Starts with an R and ends with an ist. You're racist automatically. If there's any sort of disparity in data amongst races where white people tend to benefit over the other ones, it's racist, which, by the way, most data shows that white people don't benefit from most things. It's actually other races that do. But you bring that up, well, then all of a sudden the data's wrong, it's incorrect or whatever. But here we go. Let's see it from the horse's mouth.
Really quickly, Abby, because anytime that we play something from Stephen Miller, it would be journalistic integrity to point out that he is a white supremacist and he is the brainchild behind this policy. That's not my opinion. That's actual facts. And for him to purport lies from the Oval Office as a white supremacist,
I don't know.
it should be pointed out.
Look, it's
reporting. Washington Wall Street Journal's own reporting.
I want to address what he's
really quickly, Abby, because
Do you notice that the host doesn't do anything to address the craziness that just came out of her mouth? To just go on live television and call somebody a white supremacist for doing what? Trying to get rid of the crime that's happening? Whoa, crazy, crazy. These people are nuts, man. These people are really, really nuts. It's crazy. At this point, racist is a badge of honor. Oh my, yeah, well, they diluted it so much. And it's a common phrase. You've seen this from like Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Michael Knowles, like all the greats, right? Like you've heard it from these guys where they say like, by you just calling everybody racist, you actually just diminished what it means to actually be racist. And I gotta say, I agree with that. Racism's evil. It's terrible. But when you just start calling everybody racist, it's almost like the boy who cried wolf. You almost just muddy the waters so much where you're like, what does it mean to be racist anymore? And I think they've obviously changed the goalposts on that one quite a bit. So let's see what else we have here in the news for all of you. I don't want to say it's a short or a short news day or a small news day. I mean, it kind of is, but I'm kind of being picky and choosy as well. Here we go. We got Donald Trump, a little bit of little economics, a little bit of business talk. Trump to foreign governments drop taxes on big tech or face consequences. So here we go. Trump warned Monday that countries imposing digital taxes on American tech companies will face significant tariffs if they didn't remove them. This is something that Canada originally had on us, and I think they removed it now. Canada bent the knee again, which I absolutely love. They're all, matter of fact, can we watch it? Hold on. We'll come back to this. It's worth it, you guys. There's a lot. It's worth Canada bending the knee. I just want to see Mark Carney. Mark Carney. Let's see if there's recent. Let's see the latest. There was an image of or a video of him the other day just bending the knee to we're going to remove the tariffs. We're going to remove all sorts of stuff. Let me see if let's see if we can find this for all of you while we're waiting. It's good to see all of you in the chat again. It's nice. Here we go.
Do you have any assurances from the Americans that this will kickstart negotiations? Did President...
That's not the one I'm looking for, but you can look at what I'm finding here. Let's see if the bada beam, bada boom. I don't see the clip. All right, well, that's okay. We'll see if we can find it a little bit later. Without naming a specific country, Trump said that some nations have given a complete pass to China's tech companies while penalizing American competitors. Some countries like China, Canada and India have already backed away from digital taxes after pressure from the Trump administration. So what happened was they got rid of the digital tax. They bent the knee. And then people got upset because their country bent the knee. I mean, what else are they going to do? And then they put it back in place. And then now they bent the knee again. So he got on the right knee first, and he stood back up. He's like, hold on a second. It was just the wrong knee. So now he got on the left knee. He's like, Trump said, kiss the ring again, Carney. But this time I want the pink lipstick. I don't want the red one. Love it. As the president of the United States, I will stand up to the countries that attack our incredible tech companies. Digital taxes, digital service legislation, and digital market regulations are all designed to harm and discriminate against American technology. This must end and end now with the truth. I put all countries with digital taxes, legislation, rules, and regulations on notice that unless these discriminatory actions are removed, I, as President of the United States, will impose substantial additional tariffs on the country's exports to the United States of America and institute export restrictions on our highly protected technologies and chips. America and American technology companies are neither the piggy bank nor the doormat of the world any longer. Oh, that's a good one, the doormat. Don't you guys kind of feel like that? Kind of like what I was describing earlier with all these people coming in, taking advantage of us. Doesn't it feel like when they come in, well, one, they don't even clean their feet figuratively, right? Because they're allowing criminals to come in and all these other things. But at the same time, like, doesn't it feel like they're just rubbing their caca, like they stepped in dog poop and they're just rubbing it on your face, on your doormat before they come in? That's what it feels like to me. That's a really good one. I like that from the president. Doormat. I do feel like the piggy bank of both the piggy bank and the doormat of the world. Kind of tired of it, to be fair. $37 trillion in debt. I'm tired of a lot of things, to be honest. I think a lot of you are as well. Finally, we got a guy in office that's speaking up for us. Finally, somebody's like, hey, I represent these people and protect these people. Enough's enough. Love it. This one's kind of funny yesterday. Now, I can't really pick on this guy too much because I got a bad shoulder myself. Well, Mamdani can't lift. Unsurprising. This is from Ben Shapiro. So I guess there's this thing of Mamdani. He can't bench press this bar. I want to see if there's a clip of it. Oh, there is a clip. Let's check this out from Libs and TikTok. Now, again, I can bench press, but I have to be very careful. I have a very, very bad shoulder. So I can only do so much. So I can't beat him. I can't beat up on him because I don't know if I could do this, but I have a reason for it at least. But here we go. Yeah! So this is Mamdani, the guy that's... This is the socialist, the Democratic socialist. Forgive me, it changes things. Running for mayor of New York City. Going to do a bench press here.
This is how you move up in the polls. Yeah!
You could tell he doesn't know how to bench press. So one of the rule of thumbs is you could literally use your thumbs from where the grips are. And sometimes that'll help you give like a very slight measurement of where to start on the bar. So they're trying to coach him on. He doesn't know the bench press before. Which whatever.
Yeah! Let's go. Yeah! Let me get one more. Let me get three. Yeah!
It's a little cringy. I mean, look, I guess he's out there amongst the people, right? Trying to look normal. Whatever. I suppose you could be doing stuff like this, like, I don't know, maybe cleaning up your area. Now, this isn't New York City. This is Los Angeles. This is called the fentanyl crawl. So it kind of looks a little bit odd to you guys, I'm sure. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. No. So what you see here is a bunch of people in some wheelchairs, and they are physically bent over. So here's the butt, right? And she's bent over. Her arms are hanging right here. Here's her feet. She's physically bent over. He's leaning they're passed out, by the way. They're on fentanyl. This is called the fentanyl crawl in California. You notice how I said Hollywood? This is Hollywood. This is where tourists go. Haven't I told you guys this is what I see when I walk down there all the time? This person, so 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly, it's the same guy. 6 people, maybe 7 people passed out just in this one little area. Look at this. They'll be like this for hours, by the way. Like anywhere from, few hours to, maybe 10 hours. Just bent over like this. Look at that. Isn't that nuts? And it's happening everywhere in Hollywood, California, just everywhere. It's sad, man. It's sad to see that people just completely destroyed their lives. But don't worry, they would rather attack Trump for trying to, fix things. So here's the mayor of Chicago. Hasn't fixed anything whatsoever, but it's going to blame Trump for everything. Here we go.
Mayor of this city, I can tell you that Chicagoans are not calling for a military occupation. They are calling for the same thing that we've been calling for some time, and that's investment. What safe cities across America all have in common, they invest in people. And that's what we're doing in Chicago.
No, you're not.
We need the federal resources to make sure that we're building more affordable housing.
No, throwing money at the problem isn't going to fix it, bud. Look at California. We've thrown billions and billions of dollars at homeless. Doesn't fix it.
Expanding mental and behavioral health care, education, all of these things that could reduce crime and provide real community safety. Instead of spending hundreds of millions of dollars for a publicity stunt to invoke chaos and terror, the federal government should spend that money on proven solutions to crime and violence reduction. Why don't you stop relying on the federal government for everything and figure out your own area, dude? Stop relying on the federal government. Oh, we need money from this. Why don't you give us more money for that? Why don't you just figure it out yourself? We cannot incarcerate our way out of violence. We've already tried that. And we've ended up with the largest prison population in the world without solving the problems of crime and violence. No, what you do is you just make longer sentences so the person can't come back out and commit more crime. So, I mean, at some point, you're going to have a large, that's fine. If people want to commit crime, you just keep them there for a long time. And then, well, crime at some point has to go down, right? Because there's nobody to commit crime anymore because nobody on the streets. Addiction on jails and incarceration in this country, we have moved past that. It is racist, it is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive. You just heard it, right? It's racist. Past that. It is racist. Move past that. It is racist. 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 I told you, isn't it a wild thing that they're basically saying black people are the ones that commit the crime? It's nuts, man. It's a weird way of thinking. It's odd as heck. It is immoral, it is unholy, and it is not the way to drive violence down. We cannot return to the same failed strategies that got us here in the first place. Under the previous presidential administration, we requested more federal resources to address gun violence in our city. So that's pretty much the end of the clip. Yeah. Yeah. Just ask. They just want more money is what it is. More money. Money doesn't solve the problem, bud. It's your culture that you've established in Chicago, a culture of crime, a culture of being lack on consequences. Yeah. You all have your heads up you know what there in Chicago. And I can't wait till Donald Trump sends in the National Guard and starts freaking arresting everybody because I'm so tired of the crime. I don't even live there. I'm tired of it. Yeah, if you do the crime, you do the time. Exactly. But don't worry, everything's racist. Everything's racist nowadays. Oh, yeah, because you're arresting, getting criminals off the streets. Yeah. By the way, there's a lot of black people that are asking for this as well, to get the National Guard out there to fix things and clean up the streets, so they don't have to worry about getting shot. They're not bad people. But they'll elect this idiot, right? They just go from Mayor Lori Lightfoot to Brandon Johnson. They're the same person. They're both idiots. And I don't throw that word around loosely, by the way. Really. Idiot. Gavin Newsom, idiot. Mayor Bowser, idiot. They're all idiots. Give me money, always about money. Yeah. Like figure out your own area, dude. How many times you guys, look, how many times have I said, don't send any money to California. I'm tired of it. And I live here. And I'm telling you, don't send your money here. Allow us to figure this out. Allow us to figure it out. Stop. You don't live here. Why is your federal dollars going here for crap that we're not going to fix ourselves? Same thing there. Why is my tax dollars going to Chicago when they just allow this stuff to happen? I don't want to subsidize crime. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm getting fired up, man. I'm so tired of the stupid crap that's being done because people are being harmed. People are being murdered. A lot of stuff's happening to people. And you got idiots like this. They're going, you're racist for wanting to clean up the streets. It's like, shut up, you idiot. People are being offed in like mass numbers in Chicago for years, and you can't figure it out. Pull your head out of your ass, nut job, and fix your own fucking city rather than relying on the federal government to do it for you, you dick. Yeah, I'm being an asshole right now because it pisses me off. People are dying in the streets because this idiot, it's racist. Yeah, why don't you pull your head out of your ass instead of spending so much money on a nice suit? Why don't you go out there and clean up your streets, sweep up the streets a little bit? Like fucking do something rather than stand and grandstand in front of a microphone. Freaking idiot. God, dude. I'm so tired of these politicians, man. Really am. Because you know why? We're the ones that get screwed. We're always the ones that get screwed by these people. You think this idiot back here's done anything? You think this guy's done anything? She's done. I mean, she spent more time picking out the stupid ass bright freaking coat and him spending time finding the suit that's tailored correctly than actual helping anybody out there in Chicago. I don't see him mowing people's lawns. I don't see him out there cleaning up the street, doing new freaking pavement. None of that.
But they'll stand up there with these nice shades that probably like $400, this tie, this suit, you know, making sure the pin's on straight. Yeah, you'll spend more time in the mirror than you will actually helping anybody out there in Chicago. But don't worry, it's racist. Yeah, sure. It's always racist because it's an easy thing to throw. So tired of this crap. Because us peasants are the ones that get affected. We're the ones that get shot for watching TV in our living room, not bothering anybody, but there's a drive-by down the street, and there you go. Grammy's dead, your kids are dead, because this guy wants to ask for more money because he's an idiot. So it's always everybody else that gets screwed other than the criminals. But don't worry, oh God, the prisons are full. Yeah, well, doesn't that say a little bit of a problem that you got a crime problem, that obviously the punishment isn't harsh enough, the fact that people are willing to commit the crime more to the point where they know that they go out there, they're just going to have a no cash bail, and now they're out on the streets? Damn good show. Alrighty. Well, I went later than I was supposed to. I got to get out of here real quick. We will be back here for Dark MAGA. It is open to everybody. Matter of fact, this might be the last one today and Thursday. I think this last week that it's open to everybody before we have to go back into Rumble Premium next week. But thank you so much for always joining me for the Bald Brad Show. Make sure that if you want to donate to the show, you head over to baldbrad.com. You can do a monthly donation. I do get an email, so I know who you are. But we also have memberships on YouTube and Rumble. Would love for you to join our membership. It helps support the show. It keeps on the lights here. And with that being said, I will see you guys in about so many hours, whenever 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is back. Love you guys. Take care. It's good to see you again, and have a blessed day. Adios.